Hello, I'm Mr. Evan Hubbard. I would like to make this video just to give y'all more information about our concurrent program at Prairie Grove High School. Next year, we plan to expand our concurrent program and we plan to offer 38 hours of college credit. We're doing this with a partnership with UFAS, and so I'd like to make this video just to give y'all more information about our concurrent program. And so, first off, let's talk about the requirements and the classes that we plan to offer. To get in the concurrent program, most of our classes are going to be only available for juniors and seniors. You have to have a non-weighted cumulative GPA of 2.5. You have to have a qualifying reading score. You can get that reading score either on the PSAT, the ACT Aspire, the AccuPlacer, or the ACT. And you have to have a cumulative 2.0 GPA for UFAS concurrent courses. And so here's a list of courses and their prerequisites. We're going to offer college chemistry 1 and 2. Those are going to be taught by Dr. Howard. And so to get in those courses, you either have to have college algebra or at least a 23 on the math portion of the ACT, in addition to these requirements above here. We're also going to offer 2 education courses. Those are going to be taught by Miss Lawhorn. And so you have to have a qualifying English score in addition to these requirements. We're going to offer Comp 1 and 2, and this is only going to be available to seniors, and it's going to be taught by Miss Walls. And you have to have a qualifying English score in addition to the requirements listed above. We're going to offer U.S. History 1 and 2, be taught by Mr. Watson. You have to have a qualifying English score in addition to the requirements above. We're going to offer computer applications for the knowledge worker. This will be available for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And this one just requires a reading score. So you don't have any additional requirements or besides the requirements above, and this will be taught by Ms. Bartholomew. I will be the teacher for the 3 math courses. For college algebra, you just need a qualifying math score. For survey of calculus, you either need to complete college algebra or 23 on the math portion of the ACT. And for statistics, same thing. Now, I will make a note here, survey of calculus, this is not the calculus that STEM majors take. This is the applied calculus that a lot of the business majors and other majors take. This is required for about 27 majors at the U of A, but is not for your science, technology, engineering, and mathematics majors. So just keep that in mind as you're selecting courses. Okay. Here's a list of ways you can achieve a qualifying score. If you notice that you got the ACT Aspire and you've got the PSAT, I've tried to contact most of the current sophomores and juniors, whether you've got a qualifying score or not. If you're a sophomore and you don't have a qualifying score, your best route to get that qualifying score right now is the AccuPlacer. So I'd recommend you go sign up to get an AccuPlacer account. I'll send you a link here in a moment and sign up to get an AccuPlacer account, and you can get an AccuPlacer, either take the reading, English, or math exam, whatever one you need. And you can do that. The AccuPlacer only costs $5, and you could take it an unlimited amount of times. And it's just a cheap and effective way to get that score. I've got AccuPlacer study guides in my classroom. Miss Hunt has them. The AccuPlacer tests are 20 questions, multiple choice. You get unlimited time on them. And so we've had a lot of students get eligible for these courses by taking the AccuPlacer. For juniors, you have the ACT coming up. So that's a way to get eligible. So you just need a 19 on the specific portions of the ACT. But if you're not able to get eligible by that way, you can go ahead and sign up for an AccuPlacer as well. So if you feel you could still, as a junior, you could still sign up for that AccuPlacer account if you're not for sure, but we'd encourage you to do that if you'd like. But we want to try to make sure you get eligible. We need these scores for sure by early May so we can turn those into UFAS and get you eligible for the upcoming year. Now on to the next paper that we handed out, just some frequently asked questions. Talking about AP versus concurrent. Let's talk about the differences between the two. You can earn college credit with AP and concurrent. For AP, what you have to do is you take the class, and at the end of the year, you sit for an exam. And if you pass the exam, then you could earn credit. Now, the credit you earn for most exams, it's 3 hours. Sometimes it's 4 hours. Sometimes it's even more, depending on how you do on the exam. For concurrent credit, usually if you make a C or higher, then you get automatic credit for the course. Now, sometimes you get credit for a D, but Ds will get you high school credit, but Ds are not necessarily good for college credit. So just something to keep in mind. How transferable are the credits? AP credits are widely accepted across most schools across the nation. Concurrent credits are also most public schools will accept concurrent credits across the state of Arkansas and many schools across the nation. If you're going to a public school in the state of Arkansas, you should be good on both routes. If you're looking at maybe a private school, or you're looking for a school that's out of the state, you might just double check before you go there, or double check. They usually have a little transfer equivalency thing. You can go check and run your course through there and see if it'll transfer. I can help you with that process. Just let me know if you need help with that. What's the cost of taking the course? Well, for AP courses, they're free. For a concurrent course, they're $125 a course. However, if you qualify for free and reduced lunch and you turn in your paperwork, you get that fee waived. So just a big encouragement for you all who qualify for those. What qualifications must be met? So for AP courses, you have basic high school prerequisites that have to be met, and kind of the same thing for concurrent courses. But you also have, as we mentioned earlier, you have to have the test scores, and the appropriate GPAs as well. Do they factor in on your college transcript? They show up, but on the AP, they'll show up as test credit, and then but on the concurrent, they will show up as on your official transcript. Now, do they show up as a grade? Now, my understanding is if you go to a school that's not UFAS, they will not factor into your GPA. However, if you take a concurrent course and you're wanting to get into a med school, my understanding is, or a competitive school like a nursing school, they might go back and look at the grades you got just for competitive purposes. So you want to do the best you can. It will count towards your high school GPA, so you want to do the best you can. How does the weighting of the course, how does that go? The AP courses are weighted. So if you get an A, you get 5 points. If it B, 4 points. C, 3 points. And so as long as you take the AP exam. And so that's a benefit to taking an AP course. The concurrent courses do not have the weighting scale. So it follows the traditional scale that most other courses do. However, some colleges like the U of A will weight concurrent courses. I know the U of A will, when they see a concurrent course on your transcript, they will weight that for scholarships and admissions. So it's just something to think about. How long is the duration of the course? AP courses last full year and they're worth 1 full credit. Concurrent courses, they last for 1 semester. All of ours will last for 1 semester, but they're still worth 1 full credit. So if you take college algebra, that's a 1 semester class, but it's actually worth 1 full math credit. Who teaches the course? Both courses are taught by PGHS faculty, and they're both taught in person. The people that teach the AP course have received AP training and have been certified by the College Board. And I'm going to say this, our AP teachers are some of the best you'll find. They're the best teachers in our school. They've received the finest training. They work really hard at what they do. They're awesome teachers. The people that teach the concurrent courses are people that meet the qualifications from UFAS, and they're people that are typically, the qualifications are you have to have at least a master's and at least 18 hours of graduate work in the subject that you're wanting to teach. And so that's kind of the plan there. The curriculum, basically the College Board dictates what AP classes cover, because they dictate with the standards what you're going to cover to what you need to put on what's covered on the test. What curriculum do we cover in concurrent courses? That's set forth. They have frameworks that they have us cover, and we have mentor teachers. We meet with them. We kind of coordinate on what we cover. Some of us have more flexibility than others. I know for my classes, I'm very respectful, and I try to cover the frameworks that are laid out in the course syllabi that they have posted on their websites. These are just a list of classes that we offer. We've already went through that. Let's go ahead and move on. Now let's talk about what the research says about AP and concurrent. Both are linked to success in college. Okay. And so both are linked to increased readiness for college. Students are going to be more ready for college if they take an AP or concurrent course. They're both going to be more likely to enroll in college. They're both going to be more likely to persist and stay in college. They're both more likely to have a high school or higher GPA in college. They're both going to be more likely to pay less when they go to college and have a reduced cost. And they're going to be less likely to have less time for degree. And they're going to be more likely to graduate from post-secondary institutions. They're more likely to graduate. And basically what happens here is this opens up a lot of opportunities for students who take AP and concurrent. If you're earning college credit, what happens is you either can graduate early, and that gives you an extra year in the workforce to where you're earning that big adult money, or that allows you more flexibility to either double major or get into graduate school earlier, because a lot of people, that might be their aspirations. They want to go to pursue a degree past their bachelor's degree. Less likely to take remedial courses. So I know for a lot of my students this year in college algebra, we work really hard to get them to take they don't have a qualifying ACT score to get into college algebra, but we work really hard to get them to take that acuplacer so they can get into the college algebra classes. And so that's very, very important because we know that if they can get college algebra done here, they're more likely to be successful because research shows that about 50% of students don't pass college algebra on the first try in college. So we want to get those things taken care of here. It helps elevate students' aspirations, both AP and concurrent. It helps them see, hey, I can do this, or hey, it helps them to see I can achieve something higher than maybe they thought, and it just keeps them engaged. And so that's something I know when AP and concurrent, both of them were when they were first initiated, it was just something to do to kind of keep seniors engaged and involved. Because I know we have this issue here at Prairie Grove High School sometimes where we have seniors that just don't want to do a whole lot, and so it gives them a reason to keep on going. Like, hey, you have opportunity to earn college credit. It keeps them or through, AP or concurrent. This is a reason this can help you in your future. And so that's definitely a pro to it. Now, the age old question is which one's proven to be better? Now, when you compare AP to not students who don't do AP, students who do AP have proven to do better. When you do concurrent students versus students who don't do concurrent, students who do concurrent do better. But which one, when you compare the two, which ones do better? Because I know there's going to be an argument of like, oh, AP's better or oh, concurrent's better. Well, when you look at the research shows there's an article that Taylor and Yan from 2018. I have an article that talked. They did a comparison with students from the state of Arkansas, and they compared AP versus concurrent, and they compared retention, how long they stayed in college, and they compared their bachelor degree achievement, and they saw no significant difference of students who just took AP versus students who just took concurrent. So there was no significant difference. So basically, what does the research say? The research says that they're both great and that there's not really a significant difference between either one. And what the research does say, I want to highlight here, is research shows that students who complete both, that do a complement of both, were actually the most successful. And so what I'm saying this to say is it's not an either or thing. It's not a like, should I take the AP route or should I take the concurrent route? This is not like one versus the other. This should be more of a complement of like, I know that was like that for me in high school. I took some concurrent English classes, but I took some AP math and science classes because I wanted to pursue a STEM career. I wanted to do a STEM type of career. And so I knew I needed the AP math and science classes to help me with that. But I wasn't as strong in English. So the comp 1 and 2 helped me out a lot. And so I'm an example of where taking some AP and taking some concurrent really helped me be successful and really prepare me to be successful in college. And so it's not really I have to do one way or the other way. It's really what's best for me. And so that's what it comes down to. There's research and there's reality. And so the reality is you have to decide what's best for your child, what's best for your student. And so that's kind of where what you have to just take into account. So which route should your student take? Basically, what are your plans beyond high school? Students that take classes, you basically, what I would recommend is if you want to go to college, go find the college you want to go look at the degree plan, go look at what they require, go look at the math classes they require, go look at the English classes they require, go look at the science classes they require, and take a combination of AP and concurrent classes that prepare them and other classes and other elective classes and core classes here that are going to prepare them to be successful. Okay. And also maybe look at the type of college they're going to attend. I know some private colleges, even like, for example, I'll just say this. I know like Hendrix College, for example, will not take concurrent credit. So if you know your kid's going to go to like Hendrix, then you might not take concurrent classes. And also think about this. What's the level of maturity of your child? If your child is not really mature, you don't think they're very mature and they're a sophomore or a junior, if you enroll them in a concurrent course and they don't do very well, then think about this. They have that bad grade on their transcript. And if they make a D or an F, that might exclude them from being able to enroll in future classes because they have to keep that 2.0 GPA through UFAS. So you have to think about that as well. So you have to think about the level of maturity of your child. You think about what their future ambitions and plans are. There's a lot of things to consider. You also need to think about the cost of college, okay? And so what I did some research, additional research, is just at looking at the average cost of college. And so I looked at the 4-year state average here. This also factors in some private institutions that are a little bit more expensive, and these are some local institutions that a lot of our students attend. This includes room and board, tuitions and supplies, tuition fees, books, and all that total. And so basically, this is a whole year of college. My goal, my passion is, if you want to go to college, starting as starting ninth and 10th grade, my plan is that we get you on a track to where you could leave Prairie Grove High School with 30 plus hours of college credit, whether that be through whether that be through AP classes, whether that be through concurrent classes, or a combination of both. And so if you get 30 hours of college credit, I would think the max cost of that for 30 hours of college credit, if you do $125 a class, would be $1,250. And if you look at the cost of that's 1 year of college is 30 hours. That's why I'm saying 30 hours, about 1 year college. If you look at 1 year college here, that's $23,000 to the U of A, around 18 to 19,000 at other local institutions, 23,500 local state averages. You're looking at saving potentially anywhere from $17,000 to $20,000 for your child by taking AP and concurrent classes, and either passing exams or passing the classes, and that you have that opportunity here for your child. And so that's, thinking about that, a $17,000 to $20,000 scholarship basically. And not only that, but you're taking an environment with a positive environment, learning environment, with teachers that care. I can promise you this. I can promise you the AP teachers, the concurrent teachers here are high quality. They're going to be teachers that care about your kids. They're going to be high quality instructors. They're going to be high quality with the content they teach, but they're also going to be high quality in the care that they give your students. And they're going to make sure they take care of your students. Whereas if you go to a college, for a lot of these lower level classes, you're going to have maybe grad assistants teaching these classes, or somebody that doesn't maybe know how to teach these classes, or just somebody that just doesn't care about your kid. There's a number out of 200. And so that's another thing to consider. And I know for me, when I look at my college algebra students from last semester, so many of them were so successful because we're meeting 5 days a week versus going in college meeting 3 days a week. And so they're in an environment where they know me, they trust me, they like me, and they want to do well for me. And we had a really good, successful semester. I was really proud of them, how well they did. And so I want them to be able to enter college as sophomores. And so that's kind of the goal. That would be my personal goal for your child. And so to earn those college credits. And so for your child, for most children, that would start, for students, that would start maybe starting their sophomore year. The sophomore year is the first year we could start doing these concurrent and AP classes. And so just some things to keep in mind. Students who qualify for free and reduced lunch, remember, they get these costs covered. So that for you all, that's free, free money. Now, why are these credentials important? I'm like AP or concurrent, like, you choose which route's best for you, but I don't want to be a salesman for either one, but I will be a salesman for two things. Okay. I'm an advocate for two things. One, I'm an advocate for this. If you want to go to college, if you know that's your plan, you need to be taking either AP or concurrent classes. You need to be doing a plan right now that's preparing you to be successful in college. Okay, because if you're not doing that right now, you're not setting yourself up for the future. And so I'm just encourage you right now. You need to start setting yourself up for success. If you're right now in seventh, eighth, or ninth grade, and you're not quite to these concurrent classes, I would encourage you maybe start taking some of those honors classes. Those classes are geared. Those teachers have went through trainings. Those classes are geared to kind of help prepare you for these college and AP classes. So I'd encourage you to start taking some of those classes and help kind of elevating yourself to that level to where you'll be prepared for these, to be successful, these AP and concurrent classes. But I am passionate about this. And I also know this: college is not for everybody. And there's a lot of super successful people that do really well in life that don't go to college. But the research is showing that if you really want to be successful in this world, you need to have something. And so if it's not college, I just want to encourage you. You need to find something, either a trade degree, a trade certificate, something. And so that's my other passion I have. And I try to drill that to my kids, my students, as frequently as possible. The amount of people that are found to be successful right now, that have successful jobs, successful at high levels of income, that have just a high school diploma, it's shrinking and shrinking each year. Okay, it's the job market's becoming more and more competitive, and you got to bring something to the table, whether that be a bachelor's degree, master's degree, or whether that be a trade certificate, some post-secondary credential, something. And so the research shows right now that people that have that have higher job satisfaction, better health outcomes, higher income, and more likely to be employed full time. And 80% of the people 25 years old that earn 35,000 or more have some type of degree. Okay, so only 20% of the people have the high school diploma. And so it's more competitive. Make sure that you're pursuing something. Okay. And so that's my thing. I know college, I know some people right now, I'm kind of working with some sophomores and juniors right now that some are kind of on the borderline of whether they want to do trade or college route. And so I'm just really coaching them, either way is awesome. I just want to really make sure that they pick one of those routes and keep pursuing that and be successful. Another thing I handed out was just some information about our college math classes, the math classes that prepare you for college. And so you feel free to read this. If your student's interested in pursuing a STEM type career, I would recommend, or they're an advanced math student, I would recommend they, after Algebra 2, they look into these options: AP Pre-Calculus, and then take AP Calculus. We offer AP Calculus Pre-Calculus, AP Calculus AB, and AP Calculus BC for certain students that meet those qualifications. And so those are some options for super advanced students. This is equivalent to Calculus 1 in college. It's equivalent to Calculus 2 in college. Um, Super important if you want to be a STEM major, science, technology, engineering, mathematics major, and you don't go to college with calculus under your belt, research shows you're not going to be successful. And so you need to have that foundation under your belt. And so if you're not a STEM major, you're not maybe as strong of a math student, but you want to go to college, we hope to, we still have some of these offerings to hopefully help you as well. And so these are just some things. I'll let you read through that. Some of those things are going to be kind of overlap. Here's some information about our pre-educator program. And so this is something that we're excited about starting. This is something that Miss Lawhorn is getting going. Basically, the state is in a dire need for teachers. And so if you're interested in being a teacher, please look into this program. Please email Miss Sarah Lawhorn at pgtigers.org. Basically what the state's doing is if you take our 2 education classes and 1 more concurrent class, and you get a passing score on the ETS Parapro exam, you could become a certified teaching assistant. What does that mean? That means you could graduate high school, be hired as a certified parapro, be paid $15 an hour. You get those hours start counting towards teacher retirement. The state schools have to offer classes either in the evenings over the summer, or they could offer classes online. So you could do your schooling while you're being a parapro. And there's also going to be funding, I think grants and scholarships potentially available for these students that go through this program. It's called the Arkansas Teacher Residency Model. The state just passed this. They see the shortage of teachers is already there, and they see the shortage even the greater shortage coming, and they're wanting to try to get ahead of it. And so if you have any interest in being a teacher, I would please encourage you to look into this program and just give it a shot, because this is something that could really help you to not have to pay much for college. Last thing I want to highlight here is the Miss Bartholomew offers this class. This is available for sophomores, juniors, and seniors. This is a computer applications class. As I said the other night, this is something I use every single day of my life. This is something a lot of business majors require. It's required for several majors. I've noticed a lot of associate majors at NWAC require this, because I've been helping some students that are wanting to look into like some different associate routes at NWAC, and so they require this as well. And so it just allows you to get some proficiency with some different platforms of Microsoft Office platforms, and it's very important. Especially, I know right now we've got a lot of proficiency with Google platforms, but when you go to college, they're going to be big on the Microsoft platforms, and so it will help you get proficiency with those platforms, and just a cheap way to, as we said, to earn college credit. It's been good talking with you all. Please let me know if you have any further questions. I'd be glad to help. We want to make this, whether you choose AP or concurrent, or whether you choose a different route, we want your child to be successful. We want them to, leave this place and, hopefully have a vision for where they want to go. And hopefully that's something that's going to hope something that's they're passionate about and something that's going to be able to hopefully support them and their family. So if you have any questions or anything I could do for you, please let me know.